Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Enlightened Entrepreneurs. Today's interview is sponsored by World Outsourcing Solutions, a company that specializes in helping business owners with outsourcing solutions and other virtual assistant services. We have entitled this interview, Your Confidence Boosting Roadmap. And today I'm joined with an expert that I respect. In fact, I came to know Barbara recently as a direct result of our extensive research of people who can actually bring a lot of value. And when we discovered Barbara, it was obvious to me that we can learn one or two things from her as business owners. And even though Barbara specializes in helping women, but some of the concept that Barbara teaches and how she helps business owners, universal, they can help you as a business owner. Now, I would like to introduce you to my friend, Barbara. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much. I'm honored to be here.
Incredible. Now, Barbara, before we actually get started with that interview, always like to ask people, our experts to talk to us about their journey into the subject we'll be talking about. Are you okay to talk about that for a moment?
Yeah, absolutely. It lights me up to talk about it. So,
Beautiful.
The way I started in business was about the way I decided was about 4.5 years ago. I went through a lot of health changes. I lost a lot of weight. So I decided to go into a program that tackled your health through your mental state, your physical state, and your spiritual state. And the beautiful thing about this program is that I had no idea what I was getting into, but under the umbrella of the program, they had a life coaching certification. And that was the first chunk of my program that I got. And I fell in love with coaching, not only because it helped me as an individual accomplish things that I never thought possible, but because my school was really hands-on and they made me coach over and over and over again for free. So I started to see the results that other people would get just from one session, 2 sessions, even some of my free clients. I would work with them for a month, and I started to see the change and the transformation that they would get just from working with someone who believes in them, who understands them, who knows how to get them going and passionate about, help them become passionate about whatever they're doing because they're doing exactly what they really want. So while I was in the program, I did a whole bunch of free coaching sessions, and I continued to fall in love with it. And about 2.5 years ago, I started working in my business. And all my initial clients were business related. I started working with them in regards to confidence because that's what I struggled with throughout my life. But it turned out that what most of my clients wanted was business confidence, because most people think that you need money, you need resources, you need all these things to get started. And that may be true for some industries, but it's not for all of them. When you want to get into coaching, the most valuable asset that you have is yourself. So if you can't get out of your own way, it's going to be hard, almost impossible for you not to get started. But if you can do that, you can get started no matter what. And it all worked out because throughout my life, I enter business competitions. I have a family line of entrepreneurs, and I've always loved business. So it works out. I put one of my passions together with a new skill that I had just learned, and honestly, it has been an incredible journey ever since.
Incredible. What I really love about what you just shared with us there, Barbara, is it was a personal struggle of yours, and then you identified in your clients, and then you went on to help them. I think that is remarkable for entrepreneurs to start working with what they need themselves, and then be in a position to help others.
Yeah, absolutely. It all starts within yourself. I 100% agree with that.
Incredible. And you mentioned that you were in the program and you discovered this. What would you say to somebody who hasn't discovered their strongest gift that they can give to the world? Where can they start from?
So the first thing I can tell you is, if you don't know what you're passionate about and you want to find out, is be curious. And I say this to most of my clients, like, you're not going to find out what you like or what you enjoy or what lights a fire in your belly if you don't go out there and try new things. If you're staying home watching TV, then how do you know that you like gardening? If all you do is go to work and then come home and you have the same routine every day and you're not going out into the world and trying new things, how are you going to realize that you're passionate about a specific career? So be curious, do research, take new classes, read new books, because that's the first initial step of discovering things that you're passionate about. So be as curious as possible. Don't be afraid or ashamed to explore the world, and don't put so much pressure in yourself, thinking that, oh, I don't know what I'm passionate about, because that's okay. That's okay. I really had to take some risks and embark on a completely new journey, and I had no idea where it was taking me. But if I wouldn't have done that, if I would not have been curious about my health and about mind-body transformational psychology, then I would not have been able to discover that I was a pretty good business confidence coach.
Incredible, and you're very good at it. And I love the confidence that actually comes from our conversation and the way you are talking. You have to be confident to be talking like the way you are, and I'm sure you are helping other people do the same thing. Now, let me ask you, those early experiences of running your own businesses, having moved from the training program and into actually running the business. What was it like? Were there any struggles, and how did you overcome them, if there were any?
Yeah, there were a lot of struggles, and I think there always will be, because even when you break through some of your blocks and your inner beliefs, you're growing into a different person, into a different area, and you will get more struggles and more fears, and it's just a different level of it. But at the beginning, it was incredibly hard because, first of all, I played a comparison game. I would compare myself with other coaches that had been in the industry for a long time, and that was horrible. That's the worst thing you can do if you're trying to build up your confidence. What you want to do instead is you want to look at these people and get inspired and think to yourself, if they can do it, I can do it. But don't think to yourself, like, why am I not there yet? Because that really kept me stuck, and it kept me believing that I was not good enough yet. But the truth is, you're good enough for whatever stage you're in.
Incredible.
And another way that I got out of my own way at the very beginning, one of my biggest struggles was with sales. Like, doing free coaching was easy for me because I'm a caring individual and I just wanted to help people. But then when it came to charging and actually asking for money, it was a big block. The way I did this is, so I went into discovery calls with the goal of selling one of my programs, and they were a complete quote unquote failure. So on my 9th discovery call, I said to myself, I'm going to do this. So that's the first thing I did. I put into work everything I knew. So I did visualization, I did meditation, I did affirmations, I did all the confidence work that I knew before that discovery call. And I told myself, I'm going to give this individual 110%, which in the coaching world is breaking all the rules, because most people teach you on discovery calls, you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. So that's first thing I did, was put into work everything I know, break all the rules, and I did what felt right to me. And then I told myself I would get it no matter what. So when it came time to sell, I priced it at a price that was aligned with me, which was pennies, $60. And I love telling this story because it was $60 for a month of coaching, 1-hour sessions, week after week. So yeah, it was pennies, like seriously pennies. But what that did is it got me through that hump of, yes, I can charge money for this. And actually, when the program was done, I told myself, I'm never doing this again. Like, this is super draining for that amount of money. So I'm not saying it's the way for everyone to go about it, but it's a really great way to start. Like, start where you are with what you have and with what you can, because that was the biggest propeller I had into selling.
Incredible. And, I can relate to that because when you are starting out, oftentimes you want to test to see that what you are doing is actually working.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have that, it will boost your confidence. But for you had done all the practice during your training time.
Yeah. Yeah, but there was something
Incredible.
about charging for it that I was afraid that I wasn't going to be able to deliver. And then once I did it the first time, I realized that I could.
Yes, yes. Oh, this is wonderful. And one other thing that I really appreciate you sharing about is the training program. One of the things I find business owners when they get started is they don't have a training program behind. They know they have the passion to go about and do something, but they don't have a corresponding experience of being trained to formally do it properly. What's your perception? What's your take on getting a proper training before you launch your business out there?
I 110% recommend it because you don't want to go out there not knowing what to do, because it could actually be detrimental to the people that you work with. However, if you don't have, and again, this goes back to one of my main life philosophies, if you don't have the money to do it right now, you can educate yourself at the very beginning. But this doesn't mean that a training program should not always be in the back of your mind. Like when you are able to do it, please do it, because you learn so many tools and so many resources that will actually help you support individuals the way they are, they deserve to be supported. Because there's a difference between a friend supporting you or someone talking to you and not knowing how to get you out of your own way than actually someone who is trained and has the techniques and the tools to do so. So don't let it stop you, but don't completely drop it off. Like as your business grows, if you can't do it at the very beginning, that's fine. Please educate yourself, read books, watch videos, get into less expensive programs, but always keep that major education going on. As an entrepreneur, you always want to be learning and growing and educating yourself. So it should never be dropped 100%.
Incredible. There is no replacement for training, because at the moment you stop training, that's the moment your business begins to go down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Barbara, how did you actually get your very first paying client? What sort of activities did you do?
So I started, I used a lot of social media marketing, whether it's organic traffic or paid advertisement. At that point, I didn't have much money to advertise. So what I did is I joined a few Facebook groups, and
Beautiful.
I started connecting with people and talking and sharing some tips and tools. And this specific person said she was having issues with a program, with something that I was helping women at the time. And I told her, hey, let's hop in a discovery call. I can help you. Like, I can support you through this, and I can give you some tips and tools so you can get going. And like I said, I gave her my 110%, which is so outrageous because not a lot of people believe in actually coaching on your first session, but I did. So that's another factor that I bring into my business. Like, I learn from others, but I also break the rules a lot. And that's kind of like how my personality has always been. So
Incredible.
I did. I gave her
And
a full session.
Yes, yes. I think a lot of people that break the rules, especially in the beginning, tend to go a long way as well, because you grow quicker, and also if you are still within training, you know how to quickly correct all those, the detrimental effect that could have happened as a result of breaking the rules. But it works, and many people that are successful in businesses, have started like that.
Yeah. And I mean,
Incredible.
You're going to fail either way. So you might as well do what feels right and try it out. And if it doesn't work, change it, shift it, and amend it.
Absolutely. And keep moving forward. Now, let's get into the real stuff here, how business owner can boost their confidence. I know you'll be referring to ladies, but when talking to business owner in general, What are the steps would you recommend business owners to take in order to increase their confidence?
Okay, so at the very beginning, the main thing I want to tell you is be present. Like, understand that you are here, and that's beautiful. And one day you're going to look back at the beginning of your business and you're going to be like, wow, I was there and I got here. But we put so much pressure on ourselves wanting to be 500 steps ahead when we've only been in business for 24 hours. And that is a super confidence killer, because instead of being grateful and doing the best that you can with what you have in front of you, you are not fully satisfied with your resources. So that's number one. Do what you can with what you have, and embrace the fact that you're starting and that you're paying the dues that every coach has to pay at the beginning. You're not going to start with 1 million followers. You're not going to start with a booked clientele. It's going to be one step at a time. So take it one step at a time. Number two is gratefulness. And gratefulness, it's one of the things that helps women and any entrepreneur boost their confidence the most. Because if you wake up every day complaining about what you don't have or what you could have more of, then it's going to be really hard for you to be satisfied with your present situation. And if you're not satisfied with your present situation, you're not satisfied with yourself, and then you start beating yourself up for not being there and not having this and not being able to do that. Okay, so gratefulness. And there's different tools and techniques that you can practice, and I highly encourage you to try a few so you can start getting into a morning routine that will boost your confidence. But you can try meditation, you can try visualization, you can try working out. And it's a matter of what aligns to you and what works for you, because what works for me may not work for you. We're all unique and individual, and I don't expect all my tools to work for you, but I expect one of them to be truly aligned to who you are. And the other thing is, step out of your comfort zone every single day. Do something that scares you. And again, this may sound cliche, but you've got to do it, because you don't build your confidence thinking about, I'll build my confidence when I do this. You actually need to do things that are scary in order for you to look back and be like, wow, I did this. And that's what's going to build your confidence, because you're going to prove yourself wrong. Whatever you think that you cannot do, you're going to prove yourself wrong. When I was first starting to get into podcasts and interviews, I was petrified. But if I didn't do that first interview, super scared, then I would not be as confident as I was this morning talking to you again, because I've done them a few times now. And that is how you supercharge your confidence at the very beginning of your business.
Outstanding. Literally outstanding. And once you do these things, like you said, you know that if I can do this, I certainly can try to do the other one, and your confidence build on top of each other.
Yeah. And you kind of learn how to dance with fear, because you realize, okay, every single time that I've been scared, I've tried it. And you see the stages. Yes, you're scared, you step out of your comfort zone, you do it, you may completely go to that next step, or you may just gain a little bit of confidence, but you learn how to dance with fear and understand that every time you do something that scares you, it's the time where the possibilities open up in your life.
Incredible. Incredible. One of the things that I do, I hope people will understand this, is I visualize myself doing it effectively. And I know you practice that. How do you make it as effective, Barbara?
For visualization, is that what you mean?
Correct.
So it depends. I have to try different things, because visualization doesn't always have the same effect for me. But one of the things I do, for example, right now I'm running my challenge, and my goal is to get people, women who are struggling to start their coaching business, to sign up. So what I do in the morning right now is I do power poses. So those posts that make you feel confident and make you feel like you are powerful. And while I'm in this post, I spend about 5 minutes visualizing women taking my challenge and it being helpful to them, like me changing their lives, like me helping them step out of their comfort zone and get that first client, or even going to that first sales calls, even if they don't get it, you know? So I visualize their result because that's what motivates me subconsciously to go out there and put my challenge out there. Because there's a big fear that comes to marketing and promoting, and I think this happens to everyone. So when I imagine and I feel other people actually getting results from what I put into the world, it really pushes me to do it, because now it's not about me. It's about a mission that I have.
Outstanding. I love the way you talk about this as a mission. And I have to say, many of the business owners I've had the privilege of interviewing, those that are doing extremely well, they take what they're doing as a mission. And I'm hearing that again from you. And I can simply say you will succeed in this because it is a mission. It's no longer a personal, it's no longer a small thing. You have a part to play in the world. Now, Barbara, there is why is confidence goes before everything else, even before money or capital? Why do you think that is?
Whew, I love this question. So I've actually encountered plenty of people who have money and have the financial resources, but they can't seem to push through. And that's because business it all starts within yourself. So you can have money and the financial resources, but if you don't learn how to value yourself and your services, if you don't learn how to push through your fear, if you don't learn how to take those first steps and eventually those big leaps, if you don't work through your negative self-talk, like, I can't do this, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy of it, I can't charge money for my services, who would pay me? There's too many people doing that. If you don't work through all that chatter that's in your mind, it's going to be nearly impossible for you to move through it. And yes, you can have money, but that doesn't mean that you have the confidence to push through. And that's why confidence is such a big thing, because you gotta take those steps, and you're not gonna take those steps if you don't work through all that inner stuff first.
Incredible. You're really incredible. And for me, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing if it wasn't those initial let's go and do it, moment. And I think every business owner, if you can find it in you to build your own confidence, it's amazing the things that you go out and achieve. I went to Tony Robbins' event this year. I go every other year, the UPW. When I come back, the level of confidence I have on going after my goals, even the things that seemingly were impossible, they seem to all fall in place. And again, it goes back to, okay, I'm working on my inner belief, my inner self, what's going on, build that confidence, create that energy, and go make things happen.
Yeah, I love that you bring Tony up, because that's one of the best examples I can give. This man is a firecracker. It's obvious, like, he's one of the people I look up to the most. But think about back then when he was poor. Think about when he didn't have anything. If he didn't work on that himself too, he wouldn't be there year after year to support you to do the same. Like, he wouldn't be the person that he is if he wouldn't have worked on his confidence. And I know he got started with NLP. He was one of the first people to do it. And that's a great practice to boost your confidence up. So I love that you brought him up, because it's a great example of someone who had nothing, and because he had a burning desire and the confidence to push through, he is like one of the best coaches in the United States.
Well, in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
we look up to him here in the UK when he comes. We fill the whole Excel with 9,000. In 2012, there were 14,000 people in attendance for the UPW, and
Wow.
amazing stuff. And the man is genuine out there in the front line, helping people do what they do, and make a huge contribution to life.
Yeah.
Are there any pitfalls that business owners or women in general must watch out for in their process of boosting their confidence?
So there's a thin line between being confident and being cocky, right? So that's something that you got to watch out for, because what you want is, you want to believe in yourself, right? You want to feel that you're capable, that you can do things, but you also don't want to feel like nothing wrong could happen, right? Because that's self-destructing. Like you always want to measure yourself. You want to measure what could potentially happen. Actually, most successful people do that, because that way, okay, if this doesn't work, I can go, So yes, believe in yourself, push through, feel like you are unstoppable. But this doesn't mean that it's not going to be hard. This doesn't mean that you're not going to encounter struggles, because the moment that you think, okay, I'm confident, everything's going to be okay, it's the moment where things start going wrong, because it's not always going to be easy, smooth. I'm going to get from A to C, like boom. Like you may encounter struggles, you may encounter bumps, but because you're confident, you're going to learn how to take whatever life gives you, put some salt and pepper on it, and keep going, right? Like, it's just the way it is. So that's one of the things to watch out for. Don't think that just because you're confident, everything now should work perfect, because it's impossible. We're all living. Nothing is ever perfect, and you're always going to encounter bumps. And I truly believe that these are put there so you can grow and expand yourself as an individual. So it's only part of the process. And just know that because you're always working in your confidence, you will be able to get through it, even if it's shifting, amending, or taking a different direction.
Incredible. Is there something, let me put it this way. Knowing what you know now about running a business, helping people, is there anything that you could change if we were to start all over again? Maybe do more of, maybe do less of?
Okay, so what I would do more of is putting myself out there, because it took me a long time to start, because my whole life I've always had I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I want to be an entrepreneur. I'm going to have my own business. This is what I was born to do. But it took a big shift for me to be like, I am in business, and talk to people who I encounter and say, I have my own business. I am an entrepreneur. I am a business confidence coach for new coaches. It took me a long time to do that. So that's what I would do more of, because PMS, promotion, marketing, and selling, those are like the main things of your business. And if you don't market yourself and you don't get into that role, then you're not going to start making money. And if you don't start making money, you're not in business. And getting yourself out there, especially as a coach, is the number one thing for you to start getting into this swag of making money. So that's what I would do more of. And what I would do less of is being a perfectionist, because perfectionism, as Elizabeth Gilbert puts it, it's fear in high heels. And because I was afraid to put myself out there, because I was afraid to get into this new role of I am in business, I was a perfectionist about things that don't matter as much at the beginning. So like, it took me weeks to create my logo. It took me months to put up a website. And yes, they were not exactly what I wanted, but my business evolves over and over and over again. So it doesn't matter, you can start with a whatever logo, a normal website, and a few years from now you can hire a designer and get it redone, or even add more things yourself. You can even rebrand yourself. You can change your name, you can change your logo, you can change your colors. So don't get stuck in the perfection stage, because most people, like, once you start making connections and making sales and doing discovery calls, you're going to realize that most people may even skip your website. They may not even know about your logo until they go to your scheduling system and see it there,
Absolutely. I'll tell you a funny story. That I came to that realization probably 2-3 years ago, that only people only visited my website after they started using my services.
Yeah.
And I said, have you been to my website? I said, oh, you have a website? And many of those people came through referrals. What we managed to do is do a really good job with a few individuals we got. And they started talking to other people, sending these referrals and all that. They get started. And then later on say, oh, you actually have got a LinkedIn account. And that has been happening over and over and over again. And I realized, gosh, okay, we need these things there. But many times, it's not the first port of call for people. People go there after they've heard about you. Maybe they've been referred, or after they've saw me speaking on stage. They say, oh, okay, let's check his website. But they don't naturally go there first.
Yeah.
I realized later, if I had known in the beginning, I would have, focused on what you talked about, the PMS. Incredible. And what's the perfect mindset, in your opinion, that business owners need to have if they're going to succeed?
Oh, there's so many, but I think that, first of all, it's not going to, there's actually research that says that, I don't exactly remember where I read this, it was a few years ago, but there's research that says that women or individuals who are trying to lose weight and they know ahead of time that it's going to be hard have more success, rather than those who say this is going to be easy. So that's the first thing. Like, don't think to yourself, this is going to be easy, because it's going to be as easy as you make it. That doesn't mean that it's not going to be tough at times. So go with that mindset of, I can do it. I will do it. Blocks will come, and it may be a little hard at times, but that will never stop me, because that's having a realistic expectation of what's coming ahead, but it's also having a realistic expectation of your capacity as an entrepreneur, as a new coach. So I think that's the main thing when it comes to mindset. That's the belief that I highly encourage you to hold throughout your entrepreneurial career.
Incredible, absolutely incredible. Is there anything else, Barbara, regarding to confidence boosting for entrepreneurs, women, or business coaches that you'd like to share with our audience that I've not asked you about?
First of all, I want to tell anyone listening that you can do this. You truly can, and get support when you need it, and start where you are with what you have. It may take you a little bit longer, but embrace your journey. We all have different journeys. We all have different opportunities. We all have a different story. So embrace that, but understand that if you're clear on what you want and you find something that you're passionate about, just keep pushing. There's no way that if you keep pushing and you focus and you make sacrifices where you need to, that you won't get there. It's one step at a time.
Incredible. As one of my experts put it this way, say there's only so much failing you can do before you figure out anything. And that goes to everyone listening here. Just keep going. You fail probably a dozen times, but the next one will be a win. So just keep working on it. You will eventually get there.
Yeah, 100%.
Incredible. I know you've got a special program, Barbara, that you would love our listeners to listen to go check it out. Can we talk about that for a moment?
Yeah, absolutely. So what I have going on right now is my Beast Boost Bootcamp for new coaches. And this really goes back to my experience of myself and what most of my clients experience, which is the fear of selling, the not knowing where to find clients, the not having the confidence to get started, their negative beliefs around money, what to do in a discovery call. So I put all those struggles that most of us encounter into a 5-day boot camp, and it's entirely free. Each day we dive into a different section, and it's like a 10 to 12 minute video training, and you have an incredible workbook that has scripts for your discovery sessions. It has activities, it has mindset exercises, it has it teaches you like what beliefs you could have around money rather than the beliefs that most people have around money. So it's very exhaustive to get you started as a new coach without having to spend any money. Because again, I want to just reiterate on this, because you don't need money to make money as a new coach. You really don't. You are the biggest asset of your business. So if you can master yourself, like self-mastery, and you can push through and you can start getting people in your discovery calls, creating programs that align with your ideal client, and start selling, you can easily, slowly or fast, depending on your journey, start building the business of your dreams. So that's why I put together this 5-day bootcamp. And again, it's entirely free. You get it in your inbox every single day, and it has everything you need to get started without having to invest a dime on your business.
Incredible. And where can they find this training program?
Okay, so if you go to my website, starlandcoaching.com, and that's like star and LAND, starlandcoaching.com, and then biz-boost-bootcamp, okay?
Incredible. And can they find you also on social medias if they want to?
Yeah. So if you go to, you can find me on Facebook. It's facebook.com/Starland Coaching. You can find me on Twitter, twitter.com/Starland Coach, and on Instagram, instagram.com/Starland Coaching. And I'm mostly active on Facebook and Instagram. Those are my places to be. So if you have any questions or you just want to connect and interact with me, please go ahead and add me in those, and I'd love to start a conversation with you.
Incredible. We just had a wonderful time. And are there any thoughts that you'd like to share with our audience with regards to social responsibility or giving back to the community?
Yes. Yes. And I love that you end your interview with this question, because this is a big core value of mine. What I think about social responsibility and giving back to the community is that I don't believe that if you say, I will give back when, that you will do it. Because I think giving back is a habit that you cultivate, and it's something that you have to get used to doing, because there's so much that you can do right now. Like even when I first started my business, I didn't have much money, and compared to other entrepreneurs, I still don't have a ton of money to give back. But every year I tell myself that I will add to Kiva. I don't know if you guys have heard of that organization. It's kiva.org, and they help entrepreneurs in less blessed countries by you lending them money to grow their businesses. So I've helped women in Pakistan get sewing machines. I've helped a man get wheels for his rickshaw. Like it's a beautiful organization. And I started this about 2.5 years ago. When I started my business, I started by giving $25. The next year I gave more. And last year I gave more. And every year I give more. And what this does is all the money that I give, it accumulates, and I can give it back as soon as they repay me. So I never take it out. I just keep accumulating. So every year I can do a bigger impact. But even if you don't have that type of money at the beginning, you can still give. You can still give, even if it's taking extra office resources. If you have extra pens, extra pencils, donate them to Pens for Pencils. Donate them to your local, donate all clothing to your local shelter. Like it's a habit that you need to cultivate. And I totally believe that if we're going to get into this journey, and any journey per se, if you want to be fulfilled, there's nothing more in life that fulfills you as giving to those who need it. So yes, I 100% believe in giving back, and I 100% believe in giving back even when you don't have nothing. And we brought Tony Robbins to this conversation, and he talks about this a lot. Like he had like $20 in his pocket one day, and he paid for someone's dinner, and that was all the money he had. It's like, you got to do it now, or else you become one of those people who say, when I have the money, I will do this. And then when you have the money, you don't do it from your heart, or you do it to get rid of taxes, or, it's a habit.
Incredible. It truly is. I remember when we started, as you probably know already, if you've been listening to us for a long time, when we started the World Outsourcing Solutions, and many of my team are based in the Philippines, and I thought, okay, what can we do to give back? And in the beginning, I wasn't quite sure until I discovered that there were a lot of children that were out of school, and they needed some help. So we initially took 20 children into our care to provide education and all they need, send them to school and all that sort of wonderful things. And as of today, we are actually responsible for 40 children that we take care. Now, again, it's not to impress anyone, but to really, that's one of the core values of what we do. We believe in, giving back, just making one life a little bit better, goes a long way. And, politicians will do their part, the religious community will do their part. And we, as the business people, we have to do our part in making our world a much better place. And believe me, when you do that, universe, that when you give, it will be given to you, that you have no control over until you start experiencing, until you start giving. Just try it and see what happens, as a direct result of that. Well, Barbara, it's been absolutely wonderful having you on the show today, and I'm sure business owners in our audience have a much clearer understanding when it comes to confidence boosting. So we want to thank you for being here with us today.
It was my honor. I had an incredible time, and I thank you so much for having me.
Incredible. And if you're listening and you want to get in touch with Barbara, I want to invite you to go to this website, which is www.starlandcoaching.com, and that's starlandcoaching.com for more information, or alternatively, you can find Barbara on social media, as she has explained. And once again, I expect you to implement, some of the strategies that have been shared here for your business to grow. Listen, success leaves clue. Barbara is doing something right. In fact, has been able to teach others. Why don't you maybe pick one or two things she's doing well and implement in your business, or in your own life? You'll be amazed at the changes and the transformation that will happen to your business. If you got a lot of value out of this time, send us an email, or just let Barbara know on social media that through this podcast you got some help. With that said, have a great day, everyone, and reach out to us if need be. My name, once again, is Yokai Kachidori from Enlightened Entrepreneur. Thanks, Barbara.
Thank you.